right. Is that better? Is there sound or is there echo? That's unusual. Let's see. Can you hear me now? So, Mike, can you hear us okay now? Yes, okay. Alrighty, so yeah, comments were coming in. If you can't hear us, if we're not loud enough, please let us know. I think Mike had the last comment. I think he said something about 6 cents a day. But I can't remember totally what it was. So let's get the comments back up. Again, the show works best when you guys participate. We were talking about bloom on pigeons and how pigeons create oilier, how the feathers produce the oil for the feathers. And I found if you dried the feathers out, birds automatically kick in to produce more oil. But again, that's just something we've seen over importing over 8 or 9 years here. Okay. So you guys can hear me. Mike, what was your comment? I asked, what is bloom? Okay. Ricky, what's bloom?
That's the powder on the pigeon, the white.
Right.
The when you're handling a pigeon, and you see a white spot on your jacket or whatever, that's bloom coming off the pigeon. That's the protective on the pigeon for rain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You take a pigeon with good bloom, and you sprinkle a bit of water on them, it just rolls right off their body. Right?
Yeah.
If you put a pigeon in the bath, you'll see on the water it will be white, so the bloom is coming off the bird.
Yeah, it's quite something to see. If you have even if we run, it's funny, if we run the bath water outside and have the water running, the birds will hop in. The bloom will come off and the bloom will stay almost in the middle. You'll see the white bloom, and it almost comes like a scuzz at the top. Like it's thick, it's a bloom. It's like a powder. And you'll see, like we said on the pigeons, you'll see if you go to a pigeon club, let's say you show up with a black shirt, you put it through 10 or 15 pigeons, you put them against your chest, you'll see you're going to get white. And your hands will get softer and softer from the bloom on your hands.
We'll get it on your hands.
Yes, we had technical issues. Sometimes we have that. Mike Parrish says yes. Bloom is a protein monocalculate that lubricates the feathers. It's a white powder. It does not waterproof them. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if I can believe that, because I seen pigeons out and it's raining, and the water actually beads on them and rolls off. Now, I don't know how long that's going to last on them. You understand?
It could be a slight protection.
It's I think it's a protection, because you could see it beading. It's like when you wax a car and it rains, the water beads. Well, you see that on the birds too. It'll bead off their back. So it's got to be some kind of protection. I mean, what's it there for? Yeah. Why is it there?
Now, Mike Vanderyak says, the birds waterproof their feathers via the oil glands at the base of the tail. Okay, maybe. And I think that there probably has to be something with the bloom of the feather. It has to be a little bit. Because it is funny, if you take a mister too, a mist bottle, like a sprayer, you have a bird in your show cage and you missed it, you'll watch the water just touch
and roll
and
off.
beat off. So, yes, that was, Carlos. That was a good question. Mike Vandriak says, that is one of the reasons they preen. So, Mike, you're saying they preen their feathers to move the oil around? Like we're saying, taking oil from the back and moving it up to the front? I don't know. Is that what it is? I don't know.
I got a pigeon that, I communicate very well with him.
Right?
So tomorrow I'm going to ask him what it's all about. But I asked Mike, he's given all these answers.
He knows.
Six cents a day
can you
and
please
the bloom.
Hold on.
I asked him one question last week, and I asked him again this week.
He doesn't want to
the answer.
Hold on. Okay. So
'Cause I don't know.
Mike says this. Bloom is for lubrication. The feathers rub across each other as the wings flap. Okay. So my question though, Mike, is why do you feel the bloom through the whole bird? You just don't feel it on the flight feathers.
No, but as the body moves, all the feathers move as well. Do you understand me?
Right, I get that.
So that's what he's saying.
He's saying that the bloom lubricates the feathers. Maybe.
Oh, it's like a lubrication.
It's a type of a lubrication, and maybe that's what it is.
It's like Slick 50.
Yeah.
Right.
Like Slick 50. Well, I guess it's kind of like a gymnast when he puts the powder on his hands, the chalk, to swing around the bars. He uses the powder in between.
Oh, I think he's using the powder for grip.
I was never in the Olympics. So what would I know? I guess that's interesting. I always thought the bloom helped in the rain. But
Well, the bloom probably protects them from the sun as well. It's like when you tan, you're getting the tan, but what it is your body is creating a chemical reaction, and it gives you oils on your skin to protect you from the sun. And have you ever noticed somebody that's been working in the sun a lot, they don't burn?
They don't.
Because the body is producing an enzyme that protects the skin. And I believe the bloom also protects the bird from rain, sun, dryness, and that's why they have the bloom.
So it's probably a little bit of everything, the bloom. I would think.
Yes.
Now, Frank Yanknett says, do you see oil in the bath water? Duh. No, I see bloom in the bath water.
Well, it could be actually if you had a what do you call it? What do they call those?
Yeah,
you could look in.
Telescope, an escoscope or something.
It's probably oil based. Okay, it's probably an oil. We call it bloom. It's probably an oil protection, right?
Interesting.
It's very interesting.
It is.
Hey.
Also, Mike, you had mentioned and the show cut off, and I didn't want to cut your point off. You said you did a calculation of how much it costs to feed a pigeon per day. So I'll let you say what you had to say on that, because I'm sure that'll get the discussion going in lots of different directions. But it will be funny tomorrow. Hell, tomorrow we're going to let those birds out in the afternoon. We're going to give them a bath. Mm-hmm. Let's see what the bath water looks like with that rain. Oh boy. Oh no. Mike wrote a lot of shit here. Sorry, I didn't mean shit in that way. The average...
A lot of good stuff.
Yeah, but it's a lot to read. Okay. So I'm going to read this the best I can, guys. The average price of a commercial pigeon mix is approximately $50 for a 50-pound bag of feed. This can vary generally from under $25 to $65, but let's assume $50 a bag. 100 pigeons would eat 100 ounces or 6.25 pounds a day, or 3.75 bags per month. 3.75 times 50 is $187 per month on feed. A 12 kilo box of minerals is also $50. That might last 2 months. 2 months. So feed the supplement alone for 100 pigeons. Feeding commercial pigeon mixes would be around $200 or $2 a bird. $2 bird month, or 6.7 cents per day.
You figured it out. He's right. The bottom line is,
but wait a minute.
If you have 100 birds, you got too many birds. So let's cut the birds down, get better birds, and cut your feed costs down.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
we all have that.
I guess you can look at it that way.
We all have the bad habit of getting too many birds.
I mean, it sure as shit though. It don't when you start feeding feed. I know that we all say the pigeons eat about an ounce. But boy,
but I'll tell you the truth. Like Mike said,
when you feed
an ounce a day, if you keep those pigeons on an ounce a day, you got pigeons that respond good and they're usually healthy.
Well,
but it's kind of like you got to measure it. To make sure, and we don't do a lot of times.
Let me ask you, with the peanuts there we're running,
mm-hmm.
You already said to me, "Wow, look at how much these birds have eaten of this."
Yeah, I paid $80 for a 50-pound bag,
right?
And it's going down.
It's going down fast.
You're darn right.
Right now, again.
But then you could say, how many peanuts
do they need?
Do they really need?
Right.
So they gorge on peanuts.
Oh, sure.
Right.
That's a good average. Again, if you work off that, you'll see. You can try it.
It doesn't hurt as much when you look at a pigeon. You say, God, I got too many pigeons here. Oh, well, it's only costing me 6 cents a day to feed that pigeon. But in reality, it's costing you quite a bit. Right?
Well, 100%. I mean, you know that all in one grit. Man, 100 pigeons will eat that bucket in about 2 weeks. If you feed it as they say to feed it. What do they say? A teaspoon a day? A teaspoon a day. I don't know how many teaspoons are in that bucket. But, guys, that's a very interesting, Mike. Thanks for doing all that work.
I always feed my birds. My measurement is my hand goes into the pail. So if I got 16 pigeons in a section, I go like this, and they get 8 handfuls. That's it. And next day I come in. I mean, when they're feeding youngsters, you can't do that.
Well, that's what we were feeding a day. That don't seem right.
So
6 cents a day. If you were to times it by 600 pigeons,
you're feeding $42 a day.
No, $427 a day.
No way.
Well, I'm trying to see his math here. If you feed a teaspoon of all-in-one, you will throw more than 50% away. Okay, if you feed a teaspoon. If you read on the back of the box, I didn't make the box. And they're trying to sell the product more.
They want you to throw it away.
Right, they want you to throw it away. But
That's
but they say if you were to be listening to as the doctor prescribed, they say a teaspoon per day per bird.
You throw that away.
Okay, so what is it?
Every day.
I'm going to say 6 cents 6 cents a pigeon a day. You times that by, let's just say 600 pigeons, right? $360 a day.
I think you're $36 a day.
Are you sure? Okay, let's do.
36,
He said
$36 a day is almost 3/4 of a bag of feed for 600 birds.
Well, so if it was 7 cents a day, and you feed times 611 pigeons, that says
$42.77 a day.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's pretty good. You did, yeah. I didn't see the dot there. Good job, Ricky. I'm getting all. My math was never my strong suit. Well, that's good. $42 a day. So $42 a day. So that's basically a 50-pound bag of feed, give or take an ounce, right? Give or take an ounce.
Yeah.
So it's $50 a day. Now, $50 a day. Let's go $50 a day times 30 days. You're spending $1,500 in a month. In 1 month. Feeding 600 birds. Pretty good. I know what it says on the bottom. Mike, I'm only saying it because people ask, how do you give it? I don't give a teaspoon per bird. Sometimes I give 50 birds 3 fistfuls, and I let them clean it up. The next day I go in, I give them 1 fistful. The next day I say, oh, I'll give them 5 fistfuls. I go back and forth. Don't worry, Mike. I know. We figured it out. So, 600 birds on Mike's calculation to give you guys an estimation on using a Versalaga feed, Champion Black Label. $50 a bag?
No, I don't think you can buy Versalaga for $50.
Regardless,
now it's up to almost $65 a bag.
I'm just using that as a figure.
Yeah, okay.
You're going to spend $1,500 a month. Mm-hmm. You have them for, what is that, 5 months? Times 5?
$7,500.
$7,500.
See, I did that without the calculator.
God damn it, you're good. So there, that's not cheap, is it? And that still don't make them. That still don't get them down the road. That still don't make them win a race. That still don't make them come from the cornfield. And that sure as hell don't make them come through the rain. More like a tablespoon. Oh. Maybe it says on the box a tablespoon. I don't know. I don't, all that stuff there, I feed it by feel, not by what the measurement is.
So what are you talking
could
about?
You,
feeding a grit?
Yeah, could you imagine getting out there 600 spoons? I bet you 600.
Well, you should know in your can. That's all you do. You have a can and you measure,
right.
pre-measure, so you know the can does so much.
And I'll roughly here get this for you. I've been sitting in that chair too long.
That feeds 50 birds.
Right.
1 scoop.
1 scoop.
Will feed 50 birds.
And that's what we roughly work with here for about 50. Okay, a feed scoop there. That came from Versalaga. There you go.
You give them a soup spoon of feed in the morning and a soup spoon of feed at night. That's perfect. You have those damn pigeons just running perfect.
600 birds is 36 a day. Well, I don't know. Mike says it's 36 a day. Okay, it's 30. I thought it came out to 42. I don't even still know what we did wrong. This pisses me off. What did I do wrong?
6 times 600 would be $24.
I don't know. 1, 2, 3.
No, it'd be $36. Sorry about that.
0.6 times
600 would be
600.
$36.
Yeah, 36 bucks.
bucks.
Okay, Mike's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I did something wrong there. So 36 bucks. That's pretty good. You add your medications, you add your training, everything else. No, it's not. It's actually it's not a real cheap sport, is it?
No.
When you look at it, lots of output.
But it's a lot cheaper than having a horse.
100%.
You get what I'm saying?
That's right. So,
and you're at home. You don't have to drive out to the gym, right?
So
Mike, all that stuff.
Mike, that was very good. Did it for years. LOL, says Frank. Thanks, Frank Yanknet. What else was I gonna say? Plus the cost of the birds. Huh, we can't forget the cost of the birds. And the training. Again, you take a look at training. Man, the fuel prices are crazy to train. Well, you drove to Latchford and back, not pulling a trailer, and how much was it?
Well, it was a full tank of fuel.
So that's $160.
Plus, I put $25 in.
Oh, but when you got back here, the truck wasn't full again. No.
No. I added. I could have probably made it back, but I was getting pretty darn low. So I just thought, you know what? I didn't want to run out of fuel, so
wanted to be
put
safe.
$25 in.
I
wanted to just see.
So you drove 460 miles on roughly around $180 in fuel. Yeah,
460 miles. I probably drove more because land miles is different than air miles.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because the swamps and that are too full of water, so I couldn't go through the swamps. I had to take the road. Get me?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's right.
If you do 230 miles,
if I did the calculation here,
probably. When I left, it said 785 miles on the fuel thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So then when I got down to where I was like, I had 140 kilometers left on the fuel. And I said, because I calculated it, I said I'm going to just add, just for fun,
$25.
And I watched it, $25, which is not much fuel.
Another interesting point was that was not pulling a trailer.
No.
If you would have pulled the trailer, you would have almost doubled it. Close?
Oh, yeah.
Close.
Oh, yeah. I watched, pulled the trailer down to New Brunswick, and my tack was running steady between 1,800 RPM and 2,000 RPM. Steady. I didn't take the vehicle over 105 kilometers an hour.
Michael liked that.
I was watching that, okay? Watching that.
Right.
But when you take the trailer off, that truck will run at 1,500 RPM.
Right.
Okay? And a lot of times you're doing close to 120 kilometers speed.
Right.
You get me? So she's engine's working 300 to 500 kilometers less, and giving you another 15 kilometers in speed. You understand me? Right? So, so I did that. And I thought coming back from New Brunswick, I was going to try and shave off. I went down for $300. And I thought I'm going to shave off another $25. Do it for $275. But I hit a lot of shoulder headwind. A lot of shoulder headwind. I went down for $300. I came back, it was $400. And I tried my best. But there's no way. Shoulder headwind, that darn thing with pulling the trailer, it was shoulder headwind. I got a little disappointed. You know what I'm saying?
Right. How far did Elmar drive for the race?
What do you mean, how far did I drive? I drove the whole way.
Yeah, you drove.
Yeah,
here, you know what I'll do?
It took me almost 5 hours to go up. I left here at 5:25, and I got up there right at 10.
Right. And I'm looking for your map on here because I just want to get the road miles. So let's see on here. Okay.
Coming back, though, you can't count it because the traffic was murder.
So we're going to say... So Latchford, by car, is 4 hours and 26 minutes. How long did you take? You left at 5:25 and you got there at what time?
I got there at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So what do they say? Latchford is 4 hours and what?
4 hours and 26 seconds. 26 minutes. That's exactly what it took you.
How long did it take me? 4 hours and 25 minutes.
Yeah, give or take.
I shaved off a minute. Yeah.
And let's see the kilometers. Is there kilometers here?
You know where I was? You know that hill going down?
We're looking for the
That one.
kilometers here, guys. Here it is. There's the kilometers. The kilometers by driving. Now the Pigeons flew 300.
No, 200.
No, the Pigeons flew 373 kilometers, I think.
Oh, okay.
And you had to drive 448 kilometers. That's the fastest way. So, just to show you guys.
So I drove an extra, 60 kilometers?
Yeah.
Around and around.
Around and around. Interesting. Dad's still flying whites. Yes, Ricky still got the whites. We don't have any this year. Maybe we'll have some next year. The Ontario government pays its employees 68 cents a kilometer when they drive their own cars on government business. I don't understand this. Okay, so what's Mike? I'm trying to figure out what Mike's saying.
68 cents a kilometer. So that would be like
What do we say?
$1.30 a mile.
Hold on.
Wouldn't it be?
448 kilometers times 0.68, right?
Mm-hmm.
Equals. So one way it was $304.
And that is fuel, everything.
That's everything. And that's only one way.
Oh, wow.
So
$608. Thanks, Mike.
$608.
When you give me the money?
Yeah, we didn't make no money to give to you. Ricky would have been reimbursed 600. Yeah, that's right. Mike hit it right on.
616 bucks.
That's right.
So
and
where do you want me to go next week? I want to go.
I don't want to go. I never want to go.
So that's a good buck.
Yeah. Well, that's
Okay,
interesting. What the government pays.
How many hours did I drive then? I drove 4 hours and something up.
You drove 4.5 up and 4.5 back. That's 8. That's 9 hours. You did 9 hours of driving.
It worked out to about 11 with the traffic.
With the traffic. Well, hey, that happens. But interesting to see how that works and the expense on it. And I'll tell you, you feel tired just driving it. Can you imagine the pigeons that fly it? Like, don't you feel tired after you're done that drive? Yeah, I don't care if you only go to 100 miles.
Well, that's where people, when they commute to work, and some of the people, they're commuting an hour, 2 hours a day to work, and 2 hours back. And they get conditioned to it. They don't realize it. They're burning out.
You know, I talk about, like Mike says, there's a lot of hidden costs. There's and I mean, there's costs in this. There's the feed, there's the medication, there's the training. But you all forget, you've got to build the loft. You've got to have the vehicle. You have to have a driver to do it. You have to pay. You have to, if you want to really show people, you've got to have the proper cameras. You have to, or try and have the best microphones or stuff that works. Even like yesterday, we had that rain. We couldn't continue to show. I don't have everything to run it.
So you don't have a machine that'll work underwater?
Well, I have it underwater, but the chargers, once they get wet, they don't charge.
Let's add it up. That's why these one-loft races around, they don't do it. Because it doesn't make sense. They can't afford it. That's why they don't do the work.
Well, yeah.
That's it. They can't afford to. They can't afford it. It's common sense.
I mean,
that's it. You know, they don't train. They don't do this. And they don't do that. It's common sense. They just drop the birds. Drop the birds. Drop the birds.
And guys, you know, again we say, this little gimbal here. Mm-hmm. By the time you buy it, it's $200. Lots of sand in it, but that's $200. These microphones, you only get 2 of them. They only last an hour and a half, 2 hours. they're $300. Your cell phone, you got to buy it with the max storage to run it. You got your iPads. All these things, when you look into it, and we had Fabio sitting here and says, well, what is it going to take for you guys to run your race next year? What does it take? What does it take? What does it take?
Good idea.
And that was really nice that he said, hey, what does it take for you guys to run this? And when you start looking at it, and if you start to be serious, you either take 10,000 pigeons and charge, $150 a bird, and you're going to be okay. But if you decide you're going to take 200-300, you have to literally say it's going to be like $2,000 a pigeon. 1,000 for perch fee and 1,000 for prize money. Well, who would come to that? Or maybe is it $500 a perch fee? But if you take away the live shows, if you strip it back to these other races, and again, you guys know the races, you strip it back, then you're just like the other races, and you're not really showing anything. I don't know. You need to measure in knots like airplanes, air distance. Well, there is air miles, so pigeons, they draw a straight line. The road is different. I have a question. What was your friend saying at the show yesterday? We couldn't hear him. Again, that's because the microphones, everything was getting wet. He's just disgusted in the local pigeon flyers around here that won't support our race, that they won't come together. He said, how can a guy give a free race and over 200 people in the area and a handful will support it? And yes, I know Fabio's audio. Fabio will be here for next week's race, and we'll let him give his opinion. I think so many people appreciate what you guys are doing. I think that's the future. And yeah, that is the future. But I'm going to say again, I don't expect anyone to work for free. And I don't even think the pigeons should work for free. And it's really, I'd love to have this perch fee, this prize money to be at $100,000. And we have to make some adjustments moving forward. And probably next year, our price point's going to be definitely higher. And that may say, hey, we may only get 50 pigeons. We may only get 100 pigeons. I don't know. Fabio was very disappointed at the public. Actually, it was probably good that his mic didn't work. Because he really give it. He really give it. So, It's so funny, though. All the people that showed up yesterday, let me ask you, those people in that yard out of 10, how much fun did they have?
12.
They had a 12. And I said to people that don't even have birds, that just want to come, local flyers, come on and watch the race. Have a hot dog. It was so cute. Mark Carnwell called me at 1:30. And he said, Ryan, I'm coming. Save me a hot dog. We're going to save you. Don't worry. And Stan, he was in the backyard at 1:20, sitting there with his chair waiting.
Stan's, he stayed till probably 8, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it wasn't a perfect race, but we made the best out of it.
Stan was right. He said it was getting close to dark. He said, we'll get another couple birds, and sure as hell we did. We got about 3 or 4 birds after dark.
Mike, and originally we wanted to fly the pigeons in the combine. And I would love to fly the birds in the combine. But Mike, you know as well as I do, we can't fly unless people will allow it. Unless people want to put the grudges aside, get outside of the box, get outside of the comfort zone, and enjoy pigeon racing.
Look at it this way, if I might say. The local combine unit,
Hmm?
I believe it can hold about 5,000 birds. Okay? They're going up the road with probably a maximum of 1,500, maybe 1,600 birds at the high side. Once they fly a few races, they're usually down to between maybe 800 and 1,000 birds on a unit that holds 5,000 birds. Okay, let's look at it this way. Take an airline, okay, that seats 300 people. You're going to go buy a ticket, maybe $500, $600. But the airline wants to fill the plane because they don't want to fly with 10 people at $500. They want to fill the plane. So what do? They start reducing the flights. I can fly here for $500. On the same plane, I can fly for $80 if I watch the rates. They want to fill the plane. So what we have here is we call it the Up North Combine.
Well, can we just,
Hold on.
Can we just,
I think the management
Okay.
should be fired.
Hold on.
Because just hold on. Because we've offered to put our one-loft birds on that truck for a fee that would be reasonable and help out run their truck. They're running it at a quarter capacity. Why would you drag a truck with a quarter friggin' load on when you can get it half filled or fill it? These people are totally not business minded,
Okay.
right? I don't run a gravel truck with two wheelbarrows of gravel.
So hold on. Again, I didn't want to go on
No,
about this.
no. We're just talking about efficiency and combines not allowing other people to come on.
And this is what Fabio said. It's disgusting. And Fabio said there's no pigeon racing in Canada. So hold on.
It's the management of this unit. They're totally backwards.
Can I keep reading? So Mike Vandriak says, Mike Sharon is participating in the hobby only because of the Pioneer Village. Too bad there weren't 100 like Mike coming every week. The question is,
so what's he saying?
What's
he saying?
It took Mike Sharon. I wonder why Mike's coming.
Is Mike a good man for coming here? What are you saying, my friend? Is he a good man for coming here? Or is he a bad man for coming here? Because he's the only man coming here. So that means, what about the other guys? Answer that question. And also, I asked you a question before, last week, and now I want to know that answer.
Okay. All I can say is...
I'm sorry, I get a little bit hot, but don't be stupid, man.
Oh, all I can say is... I watch people enjoy this show. I watch them. And I talk to some people. Some people I see watch and they...
Do you want ice cream?
No. They stand back. They comment. They participate. And they don't come and participate in the whole thing. They're standing back. I don't understand that.
Why is Mike saying Mike Sheridan comes here because of the Pioneer? What are you trying to say?
Well, I think what he's trying to say is it would be great if we had 100 Mike Sheridans. But in our area, you got 300 pigeon men in this area. But you know what? I have to thank Mike Sheridan. Mike Sheridan's a pigeon man.
He is a pigeon
man.
man.
I can't say that the people around here, and again, I'm going to get bad mouth for this. I don't think a lot of them are pigeon men.
Mike Sheridan is a pigeon man. I'll say that 100%.
The people that participate in our race, I appreciate them all. And I'm not just saying that Mike Sheridan's our only guy, but it's very nice that Mike participates. And it's very nice that Mike has an option to participate. And it's very funny. Mike doesn't participate in any of the other races. He's not interested. Hey, it's okay though. let's see. Mike Vanderyak says the NNRPA holds 3,000 birds. Last week we shipped 1,330 young birds. This week we will ship half that many. Okay. But again, Mike, you're part of that combine, and great. You seem like you're a promoter of pigeon racing. And I say to you, Mike, let's get the Pioneer One-loft birds on the NNRPA truck.
Yeah, the trailer's not even.
Hold on.
The trailer's not even holding half the capacity.
What's the answer? I think Mike likes what we're doing.
We're going to offer you 500 more birds on your truck. Yeah, you're only hauling half the capacity. Do you not want to fill the truck?
Hold on. Here's our friend K-Man. He's back. He doesn't answer the questions, but I'm going to ask his question. Why do you think more local guys don't come around? I don't know. Why don't they? Who knows?
Maybe they're not interested.
Yeah, maybe they don't like the race. Maybe they don't like me. Maybe they don't like to test their birds.
95% of the pigeon people are pigeon keepers. They're not pigeon flyers. So they really don't give a they say doo-doo, you know?
Here Mike says some people can't physically keep birds. Pioneer gives them away. So it'd be kind of sad if we stopped, because then Mike wouldn't have an opportunity. Don't worry, Mike, we won't stop. Again, I can't speak for other people, K-Man. Let's see, Penelofts, hey. It's just, yeah, it's not, it doesn't work. Okay. I'm just looking here for comments. Measure it nods. Saying yesterday we couldn't hear him. Okay. Just reading this, guys. Sometimes the comments pile up. My bird came back. Yes, it did. We all have to wake up, says Frank Yank. Yeah. And this is the other thing. This is pigeon racing. Like, again, people, if you want reality, if you give them the reality, they can't handle the reality. So you're supposed to be quiet, but then you're not being real. We show stuff, and that gets kicked in the teeth. Now, do we show? Do we not? Do you say something? Do you not? I was actually quite happy that Fabio, they didn't hear what he said yesterday, because he really destroyed all the pigeon men around. And you know what? That was God saying, hey, I won't throw you into their spotlight. That was it. So, I don't know. I can't...
We talked to an organizer of a club last night, and he ran an auction, and his auction proved about $7,000. And he said to us, our club only wanted to make $1,800. Really didn't want to make the other money. So basically, are you in business?
Well,
why would you auction? Why would you have an advertisement? Mm-hmm. And you made close to $8,000, but your club was disappointed. They only wanted to make $1,800. So, are you in business or not? Like, what are you doing? Like,
again, you know, it was.
So when an auction goes on and you say Johnny wants to pay so much, is that thing running?
Yeah.
Well, no, hold it. No. It's only we only want $50 for it. No, we don't want $200. We only want $50. Yeah, come on, get lost.
Well, K-Man, I'm going to tell you, people in life, people and sheep are alike.
100%.
People and sheep are very much alike, and there's wolves. So K-Man said, what have I changed? Why don't the local people come around? Because when you're an honest, and you're a straight shooter, you don't put up with shit, you don't have the John Blacks in the world putting out complete false stories. And when your own union will not stand behind you for the wrongdoing from your combine, and your members in that combine, the 10 clubs, nobody will stand up against the president and say that was wrong. You're by yourself. Because they don't want to piss off the president, because they're all sheep.
They're afraid.
They're afraid. They're afraid. So what happens is they all talk and they all say, you can't be a part of that. You can't be a part of that. You can't be a part of that. They're bad people. I can go anywhere out of Canada and I'm very well liked. I've got trips to go to China with the Normans. I can stay at the Pollens. I can go anywhere in Europe. No problems. Videos, whatever you want, I get. The people there, they know me. They know the real me. In our local area, they're very jealous, and they've made it out to be a vendetta against us to stop us. But we don't stop.
We had a gentleman last year, the year before. He was calling the European top flyers and bad-mouthing us like an idiot. Like, I mean, are we sick puppies? That's a sick puppy.
Again, we get John Black. We represent to auction his pigeons. His pigeons, we had to not send them to the people. Pigeons weren't right. Pigeons weren't right. And he thought that he should still get his money. The people shouldn't get any pigeons. And we shouldn't make any money. And then he has the nerve to start calling European breeders and telling them this. The European breeders looked at me and said, who the fuck's this wacko? And hey, that's okay. That's it. Now,
hey, listen, it's the same thing as... I know someone that has a vegetable store.
Yeah.
They ordered lettuce, a truckload of lettuce, head lettuce. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It came in. It was garbage. It was mush.
Right.
He couldn't sell it. He couldn't sell the mush. You know what he did?
Mm.
He threw it out. And then he told the guy that sent it, I'm not paying you for this stuff, my friend.
Right.
This is mush. So it's the same story, my friend.
Aaron says, Ryan, a lot of the rules that you mention verbally would be nice if they are listed on our site. I mean, rules. I mean, what's the rules of the race? You know, we've talked about making rules. You can have rules 50 which ways to Sunday, and at the end of the day, there's still always a screw up or something. I don't know. Rules, you got 500 pages of rules. But I get it. Okay, we need more rules. Sure. Not against rules. Mike Vandriak says, the sheep spend all their time fearing the wolf. And in the end gets eaten by the shepherd. That's right. You know, and I look at some of these combines, and the one that we were in, the president has been the president for 20 years plus. That's not right for the sport.
No.
That means one person, I call that almost, there's a plan. Everyone kisses his ass because they want to get up the ranking, so nobody will challenge. Every year, every 2 years, everything should change. Liberators should change every week. We talked about this the other day. There is no reason to have a president of 100 members for 20 years. Are you telling me there's not one other son of a bitch that says we can do better, we can raise more money, we can have better races?
That's why the trailer goes up the road with a quarter load on. A quarter load. I've been hauling this dump truck with a quarter load on it.
And hold on. And for people that wonder, what was our big argument with our combine? The president, Mr. Bruce Maters, to put 20 birds on the trailer every week, it costs you $150 for 20 pigeons. We had 100 pigeons. Do the math, Mike. That's $750. What did Mr. Maters say? Ryan, for your 100 pigeons, for you and Richard, we're going to charge you $2,000. Did we have a vote on it in a meeting? No. He came up with that off of his head. I wonder, what was he going to do with all the extra money? From $750 to $2,000. What's that? $1,200 extra? I don't know. Was he keeping it? But hey, it was never voted on. We were blacklisted out. We never got our money back that we gave.
You disagreed on that price.
And it wasn't voted.
And then you got blacklisted.
I got blacklisted out.
That's right.
And you know what?
And our whole club got thrown off the truck.
And
not reimbursed.
And I'll say it.
We paid our dues.
Every Up North Combine member.
I'd like to see Bruce Maters come on the show.
He won't.
With his big boots. Come on.
He won't. And I'll say to every Combine member, I hope one day it doesn't happen to you guys. Because I'll say one thing. Not one person fucking stood up for us. So you know what? I don't give a fuck if the locals come or they don't. Because you know what? They didn't come before. They wouldn't stand up for somebody that was getting fucked on. What did they do? They were afraid of the 20-year guy running it. And I'm not here to rant on it, but it's sickening. And the Canadian Racing Pigeon Union, we paid the dues since 1970. Every year, 2 memberships, paid. And at the end of the day, they didn't stand up for it. And all the people in the Canadian Racing Pigeon Union that pay the dues, you're paying nothing. You're paying absolutely nothing. You will get no help when it's needed. And by the way, they're just taking your money and running with it. Just like Monica from the CU. What did she take, $100,000? The only smart one working at the CU. Yeah, she stole the money from the union. I think that's good. All that money everyone paid. You know what? Paid it for Monica. You know what? I hope she's still getting money from it. Will. We don't know about the board and race. We're going to talk about that this week coming. That'll be this week's fun-filled adventure. As of yesterday, we asked the president of the board and club, Mario Rea, to come. But Mario Rea won't come on the show. Mario Rea says we're not allowed to videotape at the club. Mario Rea says that we're not even allowed to be there. Mario Rea, he had the option to refund all the money, but he doesn't want to do that either.
We actually bought the race.
Yeah, we bought the race. But hey, again, guys, who will stand up? I don't know. Mike, you seem like a pretty good guy, Mike. You seem like you got some intelligence. But not a lot of people stand up. So I guess K-Man's action is, why don't people come around? I don't really care if they come around. It's their loss. They have something great. They have something honest. They have something real. Right in front of their eyes. And just like that, it'll be gone. I got no problem picking my shit up and going to Europe and flying pigeons there. No problem. No problem go to the States and fly pigeons. I got no problems if I don't even fly pigeons. I like to do it for the people who enjoy it. Will, Mike Green, Mike Sheridan, the Tracys, you name it. All these people, the Icorns, the people who participate. That's what we do it. And you know, it's kind of funny. The people who really know us, What do they always say? Those fucking guys are great. They give you everything and some. And you know what? I'll say another thing. 99% of the people in the combine, they don't even know me. They've never said hi to me. How can you judge somebody you didn't know? You know, you get a president of a club there, Jason Nelson, called me up one year begging. I needed Baytril. Give him Baytril. Give it to him free. Fixed his birds. But when it came down to the meetings to vote for us, he sure forgot the Baytril. What kind of people is that? Is that the people I want in the backyard? Do you want those people? Oh. I wouldn't. But again, I'm venting. I think K-Man made the point there. I'm supposed to be more phony. Anyways, I think this show's been pretty good. We were on for about an hour and a half. Thank God the damn pigeons come as good as they did yesterday. They deserved that. They did very, very well. We're going to be back on again tomorrow for a little bit. And again, I want to thank everyone that participates. Because you guys make it go. You know, this is as much you guys doing it as we are. We're just the vessels. We just provide you with the show. You're not going to agree with everything we say. You might not like everything we do. But isn't it great that you are able to watch something from start to finish? And Mike Green says, I think you have that in every club. And I agree. Mike, you do. It's the pigeon sport is the worst of the worst. I think it's bad. And I think in North America, it's way worse than in Europe.
I don't believe that. I
don't know.
think in Europe they have way more pigeon flyers.
Right.
So, for example, in Belgium, which is a country, you could throw it in Lake Simcoe and still have enough room to take your boat around. You don't understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They have 12,000 pigeon flyers.
Yeah,
they probably have 11,000. They're not flyers; they're pigeon keepers.
Right.
That's about it.
Right.
Okay. So,
well,
and I think here in this country we only have 500 racing pigeon guys in the whole country, which is the second largest country in the world, and 500. Pigeon keepers, basically. There's 489 pigeon keepers, and there's a very few pigeon flyers, right? So the rest are just keeping pigeons for, and
I'm sure they have their problems there, but from what I've noticed, going to awards, going to dinners, going to things, the people are a little different. Something a little bit different.
Well, we went to the Olympiad, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 years ago.
Poland, that was incredible.
Poland, okay. There was roughly 45,000 people came to that event. Pigeon people. And they came from Belgium, Holland, Germany, Austria, all those countries. They came. They came from Canada. They came to this one event. There's 45,000 people, okay? Out of, God, in Poland alone, there's 45,000 pigeon keepers. Well, we're talking about Europe. Forget Poland. So, how many people are in Europe flying pigeons? There's probably 3 million, 5 million. But there's only 45,000 in the Olympiad. Right. So what I'm saying
But you were at the Olympiad.
Yeah.
Did you ever see So many pigeon men together.
That's a drop in the bucket compared to the amount of pigeon flyers in Europe. I'm saying that's nothing.
But when I said you noticed it,
Yeah.
you seen pigeon men all day there, from
Yeah.
6 in the morning till midnight.
Yeah.
Drinking, eating. People were hammered. People had. Was there one problem?
No.
Didn't see no fights, no arguments, not. It's just different. The Pioneer is unique in the world. Oh, this weekend's race is this weekend's race. Hopefully we'll be at the board and bond race. We don't even have a clue. That's going to be a new fun adventure. We're going to have to call the police because...
The president of the club said a lot of people are dropping out of the race because we're involved in it. Can you imagine? What did their pigeons say? If a pigeon could talk, what would he say? He'd say, "Boss, we're racing pigeons. Boss, you trained us, you raised us, you trained us. We did our best for you, boss. And now you're going to back out of this race?"
Well, yeah, but
for what?
But again, I don't even know what.
It's not sensible.
When we got off the phone with them,
we don't care.
When we got off the phone with them yesterday, did you feel like we're going to be able to race this race?
No, and you know what? There's only going to be 5 or 10 people there, or whatever. 2 people. We're going to come with our birds. Done.
They refused to take any birds that weren't purchased in the auction. They refused that. He said, "Well, how many birds are you going to even have left? What's the point of even coming? You can't film. You can't do anything. You're not wanted." Basically, it was, "We got your money, and we're going to find a way to fuck you." That's it. And hey guys, not fuck me. It's fuck everyone that participated. Again, we told him in black and white, we got it on paper, we got the recordings. He says, no, we're not listening to any of that. Yeah, make your own feed mixes. Yeah, well, you see, the problem is, Aaron, in Canada, we don't have the same type of shipping like they do in the U.S. U.S., you can actually ship a drinker. You know, you take... It was funny. I had a pigeon man. He ordered 10 10-liter drinkers. And I got UPS to deliver it.
It cost them more for delivery than the drinkers.
Cost him $600 to deliver the drinkers. When he got them, he fell on the floor. So you can't have an online store in Canada. It doesn't work for that. We can't sell medication, because if you sell medication, people call the government on you and you get a ding because we're not vets. I can bring in canker, cocci, worms, I can bring in all those products. But if you sell it, what happens is there are the people around that are very jealous. And their goal is to call the government on you and get $10,000 penalties handed out to you. They all talk behind your back until they need something from you. And that's right, Michael Peebler. That's right. And that's why I even said to Mike Vanderyak, he's a well-respected flyer in the area. Hey, you want to stand up with me and let's see if we can get some things going and grow the sport? But all you ever get back, honestly, is no answers. Fucking crickets. Not knocking at Mike, but sometimes what do we say? We got to read in between those lines. And that goes for anybody that's in our local area. Show, don't film it, and have a friend take the birds. No, the show, don't film. But, you know, this is the thing. Show it, don't film it, let someone else take the birds. We purchased the birds. We have everything written down. We did our part. We supported it. And now I have to fucking bend rules for those wackadoos that don't know what the fuck they're doing, because Bruce Maters said, we don't want their birds on that truck. And guess what? Bruce Maters is the president. And when Daddy speaks, the little kids must listen. Don't film it. I have to film it. If I go there, I don't trust those people. I don't want them saying that I assaulted somebody. I don't want them to say I was drunk. I don't want them to say I drove, we didn't bring birds. I brought a gun in. I don't know. I film it for my safety. And I film it because you guys come along for the ride. Safety is key. And can I ask, is it promoting pigeon sport? Hi, we're at the board, and this is a big young bird race in Canada. Here, look at all the people. Look at the truck. It's nice. Nice to see. I'm dealing with the same problems in my county. Yeah, but some spy. I know. Anyways, you know what? I kind of dread this week coming because it's just going to be a, what is it going to be? Going to be shit. They're going to do it to screw us this week. They're not men of their words. So, almost get a cramp there. So anyways, tomorrow we let them out. We go for a fly. Or go for a bath. We try it again. Hopefully we answered everyone's questions. Congratulations to those birds again that did it. More will come. And on to the next race. All right, guys. That's Ricky. I'm Ryan.
Have a good one. Enjoy your birds. Remember, your birds, if you feel like a child for 15 minutes a day, when you go and watch your birds, that takes you to that feeling. And that is a beautiful feeling. Enjoy those birds. Enjoy them.
That's right. Hey, Mike Sharon did it. And I believe that even Mike, when he's here, he's with his dad. I would bet that. So guys, have a good night. Thanks for flying with us.
Have a good one. Keep smiling, boys.